What's up, everybody? This won't be a very exciting video, but thought I would anyways share. So with my new rebuilds that are coming with the GEP210, also the IH3, I am upgrading to 4S batteries. I've been using 3S batteries previously, so my balance boards that I currently have, for example this one here, only supports 1 to 3S, so I wouldn't be able to balance charge any longer. So I went onto Amazon and found that there were a ton of choices there, and some of them had some really bad reviews, and others had okay reviews, but none really had good 4 or 5-star reviews on them. So I took a chance and I ordered these two boards here. So we have an XT60 board with up to 6 batteries in balance, and it does up to 6S, so from 2 to 6S. This one here is for the XT30 batteries. It also does up to 6 batteries from 2 to 6S. And what I was more concerned about was what's actually inside these covers. So they do come in these plastic covers, so you really don't know exactly how the soldering inside is done, how safe they really are. So I took the time and took both of them apart. And I was actually surprised. They are really nice. So this XT60 was the better of the two. It does have banana plugs at one end, so this works great for my Eternity charger and also the new HT-RC charger I have coming in the mail. The leads on these are only 14 gauge. I would have liked to have seen 12 gauge wire, but then again, I think if you're doing 10 amps of current, the 14 gauge wire should be okay for that. They of course have the 6S balance cable that come along with them. I think they're about 190 millimeters in length. That plugs right here on the end. And then it does have the ability to also continue. You can add on a second balance board using the Dean's plug and plugging in the other balance plug right here. Now, what you don't see here is whether or not this is actually fused. They don't show you the fuse here on the end. So opening it up, I'm going to go ahead and put some pictures here instead of opening it up on camera. You will see that there is a fuse on this side here. And that fuse itself is a 40 amp fuse. The soldering on the board is actually really good. All of the XT60 and the JST connections are nicely soldered on. I don't see any issues at all with the soldering, and everything looks to be really safe. So for the price that I paid for this, I think it was a really good bargain. It does do great balance charging. I have already given it a try, so definitely do recommend this one. Now for the XT30, this one also has banana plugs. It's 14 gauge wire. This one actually shows you the fuse here on the end, so you can see that it actually is fused. Now it is only fused, both of these by the way are only fused for the actual main power rail. There's no fusing or anything at all for the JST or the balance board connections. I wish that it would have that. I did have an issue with this one here where I accidentally plugged a balance lead in backwards, caused the trace to fry on the inside. Didn't fry anything else, just that trace, and I was able to actually just use a little bit of I think it was 18 gauge wire. I just reconnected and it works perfectly fine. But it is an issue that you have to be aware of. You have to make sure that you do plug in your balance plugs in the right order, so pay close attention to that. The XT30 states that it's supposed to be a 40 amp, up to 40 amps, but they do have a 50 amp fuse that's actually attached to it, so a little misleading with the 40 to 50. But of course, if you're keeping it at 40 amps, you should be perfectly fine. And honestly, sucking 40 amps through this thing with the wires, I don't know if I would do that personally. I'll probably be maxing out somewhere around 10 amps for my batteries anyways. So this one here, opening it up, the connections are all solid. So all the XT30s, the JSTs, they're all nicely connected. However, the soldering is not really the cleanest. It does work, it is good, but I would have liked to have seen it be a little bit cleaner. So I may just touch up those few soldering points there a little bit and try to make them look a little bit nicer. Now the other thing you'll notice with the XT30 one is that it does also have an LED here. On the inside, there is a small, I believe it's a resistor that allows for the LED to actually work. So what happens is when you plug in a battery, and let me actually grab one of my batteries here. Okay, sorry about that, I had to grab a battery. So if you plug in a battery to this, and you plug in your XT30, the LED does not turn on. But as soon as you plug in your balance lead, and again, make sure that you are putting it correctly, but as soon as you plug that in, the LED lights up. So I'm not exactly sure what the purpose of the LED is. I guess it's just to tell you that you plugged in everything correctly. I don't think that it has any kind of ability to control whether you're plugging it backwards or not. And of course, I'm not going to take the chance of plugging it in backwards to see what happens. But as far as the circuitry, I don't see that it would have any kind of protection for reverse polarity for the batteries. But it does have the LED. I would have personally not liked to have seen the LED. I think all that it does is if you do leave your battery here for a little while, you're basically sucking juice out of the battery. Granted, it is only an LED, so it doesn't take much. But again, for the price, also, and by the way, you can continue putting on additional balance ports here in the back. So you, additional boards. So you have 2 banana connections here, as well as the balance lead. Again, I don't know if I would put more than one of these together in one shot. But for the money, again, I think it's good. I mean, everything is very solidly built. It has a nice plastic case. It does good with balance charging, and you can do from 2 to 6S. So now instead of using this one, I can use this one. And of course, I can continue using this for my 3S batteries as well. The one nice thing that I did like about this one is that you do have fuses for every single XT30 connection here, whereas these are just for the entire board. Again, as long as you're safe, make sure you're plugging things in the correct order. Make sure your voltages on the batteries don't have any more than 0.1 per cell difference. And of course that you're only plugging in 3S with 3S, 4S with 4S, and also the mAh ratings are the same. For example, you can charge all your 650s at one time or all your 550s at one time, but don't charge your 1500s and your 650s at the same time. Anyways, I don't want to continue going any further. Just wanted to give you a quick little look on these 2 balance boards from Amazon. I'll go ahead and put the links down at the bottom if you want to check them out. They were almost the most least expensive option on Amazon, so they definitely weren't all that expensive. But the quality on them, I would definitely recommend. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to click the like button. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. And I'll be putting out some more content. I do have the JST-10 coming very soon. I am still waiting for some parts for it, so please be patient. Hopefully this week I'll get the rest of the parts so I can put that together. The IH3 is almost put together as well. Of course, it's getting there. I have the rest of the parts all laid out. So I'm just cutting a few extra wires. I have some dampeners coming for the flight controller to ensure that it can be mounted correctly in here. So this is coming very soon as well. So stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.